One minute. Today, I'll take immunoglobulins, or they're called as antibodies. Immunoglobulins or antibodies. Immunoglobulins or antibodies. So, pluripotent stem cells produce pluripotent stem cells produce lymphocytes. One of the set migrate to thymus. It's a rudimentary organ like appendix. It's in front of the third branchial arch, and these get thymus in the thymus. These get trained, coached, tutored, armed, armed in thymus, come out as T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes, which again they're T4 cells and T8 cells. T4 cells are called helper cells. These are called lytic cells. Lytic cells. And a group of either belong to T4 or T cells, T8, they are called as natural killer cells. And they mediate cell-mediated immune response, and they produce lymphokines. And they are responsible for killing of intracellular pathogens, especially viruses, and they play a very important role in transplant immunity. They play a very important role in transplant immunity. Another cells migrate towards bone marrow. Similar organ in birds is bursa fabricius. They get coached, tutored, armored, and they come out as B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, upon antigenic stimulation, they transformed into plasma cells, and plasma cells are the factories of immunoglobulins. They are the factories of immunoglobulins. So you remember with mnemonic gamed. So there are 5 classes of immunoglobulins. There are 5 classes of immunoglobulins. Five classes of immunoglobulins. The first and foremost is igG. igG. Please remember, most commonly, this is the main question that will be asked in your PG entrance. This is the only immunoglobulin passes placental barrier and protect fetus during intrauterine life. So everybody say 5 times. The only immunoglobulin passes the placental barrier, protects the fetus during intrauterine life. If you detect instead of IgG, IgM in the fetus earlier than the 20 weeks, it suggests some intrauterine infection. Some intrauterine life infection. So IgG is most abundant immunoglobulin. So almost 90% of immunoglobulin is made up of IgG, and it is both present intravascular and extravascular. It is both intravascular and extravascular, and and it plays a very important role in precipitation test. It plays a very important role in precipitation test. It plays a very important role in precipitation test. Now coming to the structure of immunoglobulin. A pair of heavy chain a pair of light chain held together by disulfide bond. Everybody, a pair of heavy chain and a pair of light chain held together by disulfide bond. And when you do a pepsin digestion, pepsin or peptin, it is broken down into two parts. It is broken down into two parts. So this is the antigen combining site. This is the antigen, and this is called Fc fragment. Fc fragment it is called because it is crystallizable in cold. Fc fragment is called, it is crystallizable in cold. So this antigen antibody, this antigen combining site is made up of 214 amino acids. How many? Out of that, 111 7 amino acids are fixed and 100 amino acids are variable. 107 are fixed, 107 are variable. Okay, this variation occurs depending on the antigen. So antigen antibody reactions are specific. Antigen antibody reactions are specific in nature, and this antibody helps in the phagocytosis. This is called as antibody dependent phagocytosis. Antibody dependent phagocytosis. So, how do you classify immunoglobulin into 5 groups? Okay, please remember it's very easy. IgG, the antigen present on the heavy chain. IgG, it is gamma. IgG, it is gamma. That's why it is called as IgG, gamma. IgM, it is mu. IgA, it is alpha. IgD, it is delta. IgM, IgG, IgA, IgE. It is eta. IgE is eta. So they are classified into 5 classes of immunoglobulin depending on the antigen present on the heavy chain. Alpha A, gamma G, mu M, and delta D, IgE eta, IgE eta. So this antigen antibody reaction is so complex. Why you need to understand is because when antigen attacks human body, both cell mediated immunity and antibody mediated immunity play important role in eliminating the antigen which gets into your body. They play it's very complex. Okay, so there are a lot of things to learn. Immunology itself has become a specialization. Immunology itself has become a specialization in medicine. So there are so many autoimmune disorders like SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, rheumatoid arthritis, Graves' disease, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, myasthenia gravis, hemolytic anemias, thrombocytopenia, ankylosing spondylitis. So many. This immunology itself is a specialization. It's a special subject. So a lot of things you go on reading, you'll start understanding what is very. Now coming to the structure of immunoglobulin. This is IgG. This is IgG. No, write down about IgG. IgG is a 80%, about 80 to 90% of immunoglobulin. It has a molecular weight of 1,50,000. Molecular weight of 1,50,000. This hypergammaglobulinemia occurs in Kala-azar and malaria and myeloma. Kala-azar, malaria, and I already told you IgG is the only antibody which crosses the placental barrier. IgG is the only antibody that crosses the placental barrier, and it gives rise to immunity for the newborn. It gives rise to immunity for the newborn. So, for example, if there is a microorganism, for example, this is a typhoid organism. Typhoid, although it's okay, can be a staphylococci. This antibody combines with that antigen, helps in the phagocytosis, and it is extracellular killing. This enteric organism survives killing by the antibody mediated. They is an intracellular organism. So, how they recognize? It's recognized by the FC fragment. This fragment, this antigen gets recognized by the FC fragment of the organism, and aggregation of vasoactive amine. So, participates in complement precision test, precipitation test, neutralization test, and it's a general purpose antibody, and suppress the passively administered suppress the antibody formation. So please remember, do you drive scooter? So which drive you start, which gear you start? Please remember, the first antibody that appears immediately after infection is IgM. First gear is IgM. Third gear is IgG because most abundant. So it is a chronic antibody. How to remember this? Acute antibody. Everybody, acute antibody is IgG. Chronic antibody is IgM. Acute antibody is igG. Chronic antibody is IgM. And it protects the body against both intravascular and extravascular immune response. It is classified into IgG1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 4 types. IgG1, IgG2, IgG3, IgG4. Now moving on to the next antibody. Anyway, for your this thing, I'll draw the diagrams of all. This is igG. This is igG. This is igM. This is IgA. This is mast cell. This is IgE. Then IgD is similar to IgG. These are the 5 classes of the immunoglobulins. Sometimes you will be asked to write the diagram of IgG or IgM in your examination for 2 marks or sometimes 5 marks. Immunoglobulin structure of immunoglobulin. Okay, you should practice these diagrams. You should not forget it. So if you want to remember immunoglobulin structure, you stand like this. This is heavy chain, this is light chain. This is the structure of immunoglobulin. A pair of heavy chain and a pair of light chain held together by disulfide bond. Everybody, a pair of heavy chain, a pair of light chain held together by disulfide. So IgA has got two antigen combining sites. How many? 1, 2. IgM has got 10. Go on counting like that. 10 antigen combining sites. IgA has got 4. IgM mainly plays a role in anaphylaxis. IgD has got 2. Okay, we will continue in the tomorrow's class. Please come so that it will be like a tuition. When I dictate notes, it will be like tuition. We'll understand better than in a class. Class, what happens? It becomes PowerPoint reading. So there are a lot of 160 students will be there. Some will be talking, some will be making noise and all those things. And they are in their own world. Somebody playing mobile and all those things will be there. It's very difficult. Only few people able to concentrate. Those who are really interested. But once you come to the medicine, you should take interest. You want to become doctor, no? Good doctor, no? Chalo, thanks. Now we have an MCQ test. Please proceed.